afternoon and welcome to training session 3 here at Crossroads Christian Ministries. We're honored on today, this being the first Sunday in December, the last month in the calendar year. Just grateful for everybody that's tuning in, thankful for the previous 2 sessions. Everything in this house on today is tying together. It really is. And I just want to say, the blessings of the Lord, it maketh rich, and he addeth no sorrows with it. And when my saying that on today, I began to get dressed on this morning, and I already knew, I believe I knew what the word was going to be, what the training session was going to be, and I still do know. But I'm just saying this, you all saw Tim in training session 1, and Tim, whenever I got up here this morning and I started to speak, when I saw him, I saw his shirt, and I was like, oh my God. I said, God, you're so good. I said, God, you are good. Because everything that God is centering this word here around on today, he has on the purple shirt that you all saw, on the long sleeve purple shirt with enough is enough. And I started to wear that shirt on this morning. I really had in my mind to wear that shirt on this morning. Man, when I tell you I love the Lord, I really and truly do. However, going through my closet on this morning, whenever I was actually in the closet, it didn't even dawn on me to get the shirt to put it on. So when I got here this morning, looked up, saw him, and saw what he was wearing, that to me let me know, God, I'm on point this morning, and I'm so thankful for the first 2 training sessions. Tim came out of Hebrews 11, dealing with faith. He dealt with hope, and he dealt with belief. And then Danny came up, and I'm going to say it like this. She dealt with the mind, and today I'm going to deal with the faith, the hope, the belief, and your mind. Because I stand before you on this morning, Danielle said something in her training session, and today I am thankful. I am so grateful that God allowed me to come the way he did. And he's allowing me now to stand in this particular place and spot, and to be able to tell anybody and everybody that's watching, I too, and I'm grateful to be able to say this. Why? I'm going to prove it to you in the word, and I'm going to prove it to you in life and living on today. I too, I was, and it took God to literally get me out of religion and tradition. I preached it. I taught it. I lived it. I did. And I can tell you that I did, and I did it in obedience. It's all right. It's all right. There's so many other people out there now that's still in religion and tradition. It's not embarrassing to admit it. It's not embarrassing to say that I did it. It's not embarrassing because of obedience. And I'm here to tell you on this morning that if you would just obey and God see your heart, I promise you he'll get you out. He will get you out. And I'm so glad that God got me out, and he got me out in time. And I'm now in this time here to help you. I'm here to help you. The first thing I want to say is that whenever Danielle was talking about I understand that religion and tradition, when the word says save yourself from this untoward generation, that's what he's telling us to save ourselves from. The things that we've been taught, I looked at it like this on this morning. I thought about all the things we grew up on, the foods and stuff, and how it was good, how it was healthy, how it built us, how it made us, how it kept us. But then now today, it seems like everything that we eat, something is wrong with it. It does something else to us. Well, from it starting out being good to today, you have to really watch what you eat. That lets us know that something happened in between. See, that's just like religion and tradition, y'all. Something happened in between. Something happened in between. The start was good, and he still is good. But somewhere in between, something happened. And today is why we got all these different beliefs. We got all these different sayings. We got all these different things going on. And a lot of people don't know what to believe. They don't know who to believe. They don't know if they should believe. And I've always said, and I'll still say, people really do want God. Yes, they do. They really do want a help. They want it. They just don't want the God they see people serving today. They just don't want that. They don't want church people. They don't want that. So something has happened. With Danielle, I know that fear is real because of what was preached, what was taught, what was lived, what was believed. So today I'm here to in the realm of saving us from this untoward generation. I'm gonna speak about coming up out of what it was we were taught, and she used the book Get Your Mind Right. We're gonna have to get our minds right, and we're gonna have faith. We're gonna have to believe, and we're gonna have to hold on to the hope for it to be made manifest, to show that now this way, it is the way. It is the way. So I want to say this to you first of all. Until you realize what happened to you happened for you and not to you, you will never be able to come up out of whatever it was that you always talk about. You will continue to talk about what happened to you when you don't realize that it happened for you. So that's why, don't get it confused with people using what happened to them for somebody else. See, that's the difference. We have to get to the place where we understand, when we understand that it happened for us, then we can tell it to somebody else, so that it can also, be a lesson for them. Not to, but for them. As long as you continue to speak about what has happened to you, you will still stay in the same posture, the same vein. And it's so difficult now. It's so easy now that people are able to continue to say the same thing and say they believe something different. You're always talking about the same thing that has happened, yet you say you're delivered. You're talking about the same thing that happened. See, I dealt with this person, and this is the way the Lord gave it to me. I dealt with this person. And I'm coming to find that people who can talk to you about their mental state and to tell you what they like what they did or what they attempted to do, and they can tell you that, the places that they've been in mentally. This is what I know, and this is my topic on the day. I promise you, I'm gonna bust a whole lot of stuff up. Whenever they can continue to talk and tell you the same thing over and over again, and yet they use the outside entities in the world to try to say that they are the one that they're going to for help. They're going to therapy, they're going to this, they're going to that. I'm not knocking nothing that you're going to. The only thing I'm saying is that it's not helping you if you continue to talk about it, because you're using what has already happened as a means to draw me into you and to keep me there. That's why some mental patients, they don't talk. Because what has happened to them has consumed the entire person. So they don't talk. But for them that goes through and they talk about it all the time, and they can continue to tell you about what happened. You know, when I was this year old, I wanted to do this. I was threatening this and I was threatening that. Why are you telling me that? If you're out there getting the help that you need, why are you continuing to tell? Why are you continuing to come to me with that same thing? It's because you don't really desire help. You desire me. You desire to keep me coming back to you. And you know what it'll take for you to say for me to give ear. For me to sit there and for me to listen. Hebrews 1, verses 1 and 2. God, who at sundry times, all it just means, that word sundry just means in times past. In times past. And at different, he did things differently in different things, different ways, in different times. God, who at sundry times and in divers manners, he spake in times past unto the fathers by the prophets, hath in these last days, everybody say last days. Everybody want to believe that you're living in the last days. Okay, so these are the last days. Okay, but look, but the last days you thinking about is not really the last. It's not the last days. See, because let's read it then. Hath in these last days spoken to us by who?
His Son.
And how long ago was his Son? Present and walking? Y'all like to say well over 2,000 years, right? So you see today, the last days was back. Come on.
All right.
Come on.
He was here.
Whenever he was here, he was talking then. So you're asking me. See, we're gonna clarify some stuff today. Because so many of us go into these churches and we sit and we listen to who's speaking. And this right here said that God in the last days has spoken to us by who?
His Son.
So Jesus is all God had to say. I said Jesus is all God had to say. That's why Paul told us in Corinthians, he said, for we preach not ourselves, oh my God, but Christ Jesus the Lord, and ourselves your servants, and ourselves your servants, for Jesus' sake. Oh my God. Ha! So we need to stop saying more than what God said. Woo! You need to stop believing more than what God gave. We need to stop hoping for more than what God said. So if you want to know what I want to talk about today, I'm talking about Jesus is enough. Oh my God. Enough is enough. Jesus is enough.
Come on.
Oh, they messed us up. Because see, faith, what they taught us for, what they wanted us to be able to see, they taught us that we should have faith in things. Oh my God. We should have faith in things. They never taught us that our faith should be towards God. Faith that God was going to bless us with a house, with a car, with money, but the faith that we need to have is towards God. Jesus came here, he had one agenda and one agenda only. And that was to preach the kingdom. It's okay. So I'm telling you on today that there is a culture. Let me tell you what the definition for the word culture is. Custom, arts, social institutions, and achievements of a particular nation, people, or other social group. Jesus is a culture. It's okay. Oh my God. Remember I told you about what started off as good and now where it is? He's come to fulfill what this right here came. He's a culture of restoration to get us back
Yes, that's good. Come on now.
to what is good.
You better talk.
He came in the midst of all of this.
Yes.
He came right here.
Yes. All
I'm not trying to give you nobody but Jesus.
Jesus. I know that's right.
You got to know that He is enough.
Yes, God. Thank you, Jesus.
I heard Toya say when we was doing our transformation truth, you know, my thing is that I'm not enough. I'm not enough. Jesus is.
Yes, He is.
And when you got Him, He makes you enough.
Makes you right. Thank you, Jesus.
Whoa.
Thank you, Jesus.
He is enough.
Yes, Lord.
When are you going to realize? See, another thing is, everybody ain't suffering. Uh-oh. I said everybody is not suffering. And it's time out for them preaching that broke gospel. You heard Tim. I can't go up to Tim and say, Tim, have faith that God is going to give you a business with a fleet of vehicles and employees. Tim will look at me like I'm crazy. Why? Because he already possesses it. See?
Yes.
That's what they didn't tell you.
Yes.
That's what they did not tell you. That's what they didn't tell me.
Yes.
You have everything you have need of.
Thank you, Jesus.
You just waiting for somebody to come and tell you. But when you got Jesus and you know that He's enough, He's the one that shows you.
Yes.
He's the one that leads you to it.
Yes.
He's the one that takes you to the place where you can receive it. He is the one. It's not you got to get out of the place of waiting on somebody to come to supply your need. When you got Him, He is enough.
Thank you, Jesus.
Your needs are met. See, you got to stop thinking backwards. You got to stop saying you're walking forward, but yet you're thinking backwards. I'm going. But you know, I know God, this is what I need. Lord, this is what I need. Jesus is. Jesus is. See, y'all might as well just come clean. We hadn't thought like that. We hadn't, you know, we say we praying. We say we moving forward. We say, you know what, we getting our mind right. We saying all these things. But Jesus is all that God had to say. Why are we saying more than what God is saying? Why are we saying? That means that we're thinking. We're believing, we're trusting, we're hoping, we're having faith in something more than what God said, than who God gave.
My God.
The only thing you believe is, because you see what's going on out there, is that you in the last days. And you didn't know that the last days was here before you got here.
All right.
So what they should have done was they should have taught, they should have preached, and they should have taught us all the time about Jesus.
That's it.
Because the last days was here before we got here.
Come on, make it plain.
I ain't got nothing to give you on the day but Jesus. That from now until I die.
Thank you, Jesus.
Because you understand this? We talk about the church, talk about the kingdom. But let me tell you something. The only reason why there is a church is because there was a kingdom first.
Amen.
Oh my God.
That's right. He's King.
And guess who's out in the kingdom?
Jesus.
Guess who's out in the kingdom? The heathens. The heathens are out in the kingdom. Do you have the guts enough to go get them?
Amen.
See, we're looking for everything We're looking to somebody for something when Jesus should be our everything.
That's right. Thank you, Jesus.
If I see you crying, I should be hearing you calling on Jesus. Not coming to me crying. Jesus is enough. A lot of people need to get them some business today. Get you some business. Get in the business of getting to Jesus.
All right. Thank you, Jesus.
That's why a lot of us aren't delivered. That's why we're not free from the things that have happened for us. Because we have always looked at a person, heard what a person had to say, not even being able to recognize if the voice that you were hearing, you never kept your mind on the sound. You always kept your sight on who it was you saw. So you were believing in a person. Oh my God. You were always believing in a person, and you never listened for the sound. Because in the sound was the Spirit. And the Spirit was what it was that the Word say to try. To see whether it was of God.
My God.
Jesus is enough. You got a problem? Take it to Jesus.
All right. Thank you, Jesus.
When he really do, now if you want to believe something, if you want to have faith in something, if you want to have hope in something, that's the only thing you got to have faith, hope, and belief and trust and all that in this day. Stop looking for him in other people and in other places. Know that he's enough and let him take you to the people on the place. This morning, it's not long. I'm gonna teach this. Oh my goodness. I am this right here. This wasn't that so tough?
Yes, Lord.
You thought you were just coming to the last days. And all the time before this today, why don't we just go ahead and admit, yeah, no, Jesus he wasn't enough for me. No, I know I needed to have him. They told me about him, but I did not make him my all. I did not let him consume me, my thoughts. No. Yeah, I could sing the song. He paid it all, but just like Tim said in the end of his training, you know, when do you really believe this? When are you going to really believe this? See, it's not until you fully believe that you'll be able to receive.
Amen.
It's okay. That's why you got hiccups in your life. That's why you go up and down. That's why you're not stable. Because he's not enough.
Jesus.
Ah! He's not enough. Whenever you find out and whenever you get to the place, he has to be enough. Because he's able to take away, but he's also able to replace. He's able to take away,
Thank you, Jesus.
but he's also able to replace. Let me tell you why people talk and why people say they have church hurt. Because the church could put their business on blast and they could hurt them because they could not cure them.
My God. My God.
They could not cure them. And so until you resolve that Jesus is enough, until you really get that in your mind, then you don't have no reason for faith. Uh-oh.
Mm.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
My God.
Until you can resolve it within yourself that he is your enough,
Come on.
you don't have no reason for faith.
Amazing. Don't bother with it.
Because without him who is that,
That's right.
it's impossible to please God.
Please him. You better
It's
connect
okay.
it.
It's all right. It's impossible. And what people are still struggling with is they're still like you still like in the old covenant. You still struggling with the law. You still struggling with right and wrong.
Right.
You still struggling with trying to validate they're wrong to you and you're right to them. You're still struggling, which is why you don't have the kingdom.
Mm.
Still in that church mentality. You don't have the kingdom.
Jesus.
Like I said, the only reason why there's a church is because there's a kingdom first. If you would get out of the church and move as the church, move as the body of Christ, and get in the kingdom, you're going to find out that he's enough.
Thank you.
You're going to find out that Jesus is enough. So if I was to wear my enough is enough shirt this morning, it's enough of believing what they've always placed in me to believe. I'm not doubting. God bless. Oh, hallelujah. Praise. I'm not. Enough is enough. Now it's time that Jesus becomes enough.
Amen.
It's time that he becomes our all. If you say he paid it all, then why is he not your all? And I'm not saying that he's not. I'm just trying to push us today. I'm trying to push us into a place, push our minds into a place, push our hearts into a place that we'll get out of questioning it. We'll understand what has happened. It happened for us. You'll understand that the stuff that you're going through is for you, to push you, to see that he is enough, to get you out of that, to get you into him, to let you know that he is. He is enough. You want a business? Get you some business. Get you some business. And incorporate him. Let him be your culture. He is a culture by himself. Jesus is a culture. And what does his culture include? Restoration. Restoration. He came. This was so good. Something happened to mess it all up. We're living in this, right? We're living in the mess. But yet he came to bring his culture.
Restore. Thank you, Lord Jesus.
To bring his culture, to make everything good again. So, when you look at Hebrews 1, when you look at Hebrews 11 and 1, when are you going to do it? When is he going to become? When Tim really did, he put emphasis on the word in Hebrews 11 and 1, now. Now. I'm not trying to tell you to go into it now because see, for some people it takes a while for them to believe. It takes a while for them to receive. But then it also takes things to happen to cause them to believe and to receive. And only God knows what it's going to take to make you believe. Because just as long as you keep talking about him, as long as you keep including him in some of the things, as long as you keep praying to him, as long as you keep asking him things, as long as you keep calling on his name, he's got to prove that he is enough. He's going to prove that he is enough. So, with all that being said, I'm looking forward also to Tuesday night because we're gonna walk this thing down. Man, if our agenda here on earth is not Christ's agenda while he was here on earth. See, we talk about purpose, but purpose has no gender. Gender is an assignment. We talk about, and I'm so tired of hearing these people talk about, I'm his assignment. He's my assignment. Really? Gender. Gender has no assignment. But gender has a purpose. Gender is the assignment that has a purpose. That's what the purpose is. So, I'm like I said on Tuesday, Lord willing, we're gonna walk down some stuff. And I ain't talking about nothing no more than Jesus. And when you talk to me, you can tell me about your problem, but show me where he was enough for you at in your problem. See, what we have done is we have crippled the minds of the people. The people have things to happen to them. They go through things, and then they bring it to you. They bring it to me. Their mind becomes crippled whenever we listen to it. If he's enough, take it to the Lord in prayer first. If he send you to me, you come to me. Y'all got that? He's enough. He is enough. That's why we don't have no testimonies. That's why we don't have things that are happening that he is seen as the way maker, the miracle worker, promise keeper. See, saying all these things and not seeing what you say just makes you void and empty. That's what the Bible talk about. Sounding, what is it? Tinkling brass and sounding cymbal, and tinkling brass. That's it. You become that. Because the substance that needs to be seen, you don't see. You don't have enough of it. And it ain't about your faith. It's about him.
Amen.
You don't have enough of him.
That's right.
But when you get enough of him, then you'll be out here. Nobody can't keep your mouth shut. Nobody will be able to keep your mouth shut. And just like Tim said, and I'm done, just like because when you get enough of him, it'll be right back in the place. Only time this place, we're gonna go backwards, because when we got it the first time and the joy that we had, that we wanted to run and tell everybody. But now, see, but that joy has stopped after a while because he wasn't enough.
Amen.
And then they had to keep pumping you and priming you and giving you and assuring you and reassuring you and trying to make you have faith in some things that you wanted to see and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. He wasn't enough. That's why he was dealing, and that's why he could deal with you. Oh, ye of little faith. How long am I going to be with you? What? How long? How long? And look how long he's been in the last days. And he saved some days for us. Oh my goodness. He saved some days for you and for me. He showed them back then that he was enough. He saved some days to prove to us also that he is enough. Now there were some in those days that didn't believe it. They didn't receive it. So as it was in the day of Noah, so shall it be in the days of the Son of Man. Some of y'all today, y'all don't believe that he's enough either. But I'm telling you, today, you need to begin to believe. You need to begin to receive. You need to begin to go after him who is enough. And whenever he becomes enough to you, you won't give none of you over to somebody else for them to abuse, for them to use. Because see, just like 2 Corinthians said, whenever Paul said, he said, then we become servants unto you for Jesus' sake. But see, we don't want to serve nobody. because he's not enough.
Jesus.
It's all right. I can preach today, but man, let Jesus show you. Let him fill you with himself to prove to you that he is enough. God bless you.